Well, hello. Good morning, America. Good morning, the world. Good morning, the universe, right? Hey, we got to wake everybody up. I'm sure everybody's up. It's so exciting to be again back with you Friday morning, 9:30, right here from San Francisco Bay Area and Las Vegas, actually close to Las Vegas, Henderson, right there with my buddy Beau, and we have another buddy today. You're in for a big treat, guys. This is Vinney Chopra. Just to kind of let you know a little bit, we come live to you, and it's a show about real estate. It's a show about loans. It's a show about personal development, and we like to bring some great, exciting guests also for you, and let you ask us real questions and tell us, everybody who's joining us now, please give us your name if you don't mind. Put it in the chat, and also where are you from? We would like to get you more interactive so that we can bring the very best of the best. Beau, good morning. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, doing well. Just got back from the gym, of course, and day number 75, I think, of the carnivore diet. And it's amazing what not putting any sugar in your body can do. Because I was doing the keto before, but I was, I would have flour and stevia and things like that. Like I would have almond flour, but now I have none of that. And it's actually made a huge difference. I feel really good, really good. I mean, I'm up at like 4 a.m. every morning. I go to bed early, but I haven't felt this good since I was probably like 17.
Wow.
He's 17 again. So
That's exciting. Oh my gosh. Hey, I am also 17. I can tell you, I have so much energy. I do take coffee. I don't need to have a coffee. I get up like this always, But the thing is, I love that Keurig coffee, that aroma of all different, K cups that I use. And the good part is, you're right. I'm eating less sugar too, Beau, and a lot more protein and things like that. I've lost weight during COVID, which is exciting, man. I've lost almost 10, 11 pounds, and I feel so good, and getting to up there on my elliptical and hold a meeting. I'm always on the elliptical doing dual duty. I mean, yesterday I did 2 hours of elliptical. I couldn't believe it. And I didn't feel get tired at all. And then I did swam for 1 hour. That was like 3 hours, good exercise. And then the good part was I was able to hold these meetings at the same time. So I have my iPad on the elliptical screen, and then I can do all these conversations and meetings. And also, my elliptical arms are moving. And it even motivates other people. They say, Vinney, we need to do what you're doing. So somebody said to me, you know what? We're going to buy a desk. There is a desk now where you can have paddles at the bottom.
Yeah.
What a great thing. Wow. So you can actually, keep on exercising your, legs and so forth. And I think this is wonderful, And
I used to have a treadmill desk, Vinney, before I got my.
Fabulous. I want to take a little bit time actually to introduce our good buddy Mario Mazzamuto. Actually, Mario is Beau's best friend for many, 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 many years. And here I come in a few years back, and now Mario is my best friend also. And it's such a pleasure. I want to share with the audience, who Mario is. Mario lives in the Bay Area. Like I said, we are a trio, actually, kind of thing. We do a lot of things together. Mario is what did you say? Black sheep? Why did you say that? That bootstrapped both his education and career. He dropped out of high school in the beginning of his 9th grade year and began learning by doing in the building trades and in real estate right from there, from the 9th grade. Hold on. That's like almost 9 plus 6, 15 years of age, buddy. Holy cow. Okay. And then starting his first company at the age of 21. I mean, you're talking to somebody who's in the entrepreneurial spirit all the way from the start. He now runs a thriving residential real estate company, is a full-time real estate investor and house flipper, and is the best-selling author, speaker, and life coach. Mario knows the ribs of the house as only a builder can, and has the business acumen of someone who invests his own money in the property. He and his wife, Jessica, she's lovely, have a thriving family household, and that is fueled partly on organic food. That's right. I always learned so many tricks from Mario, and partly on Disneyland Tiki room pineapple whips. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, his family goes to Disneyland. I mean, every other week. I know. I say, where are they? Mario says, well, they are down there. Their two kids, Isabella 10 and Gavin 5, are homeschooled by he and his wife. Mario, welcome, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Thanks
We
for
are
having
really
me.
excited to have you. How are you today?
Beautiful. Couldn't be better. We're,
Awesome,
we're
awesome,
blessed.
awesome. I also wanted to, say that, it's such a pleasure. Let me kind of take you back to something which really impressed me when you wrote the book. And then also you are a certified, coach with Brandon Bouchard, a very big name. Can you kind of tell us how you got into that? Then we'll dig into your, how you started in real estate and construction and your dad and the family. Yeah,
Sure.
give us some, yeah.
Yeah. So way back when I was probably still late teens, I was suffering pretty badly from
Yeah.
panic disorders, and lots of depression. I would have a panic attack every single day. I'd have panic attacks in the middle of the night. I'd wake up in panic attack and not being able to breathe. And I
Wow.
went to therapy, and I went and saw a psychiatrist, and they tried to put me on medication, and I
Hmm.
just didn't want to accept it. I knew in the back of my mind it wasn't right, and it didn't feel
Hmm.
right. And I'd seen Tony Robbins many times on TV and his infomercials, but I thought, is this guy really telling the truth? Because everybody else in these infomercials is a bunch of liars, right? And so I didn't go and buy his system, but I was walking through the bookstore one day and saw his book, grabbed his book, sat down there, probably sat down for about 4 hours. And I can say in my mind, I felt the best I had felt in years. Bought the book, and the rest is history. And I just got hooked on that sort of stuff. And I got
Wow.
hooked on self-development. And then I
Yes.
sought out Brendan Bouchard and went through his whole system. And it's kind of like when you discover working out, or you discover, like Beau, like the carnivore diet. Once you get, you start getting some stuff under your belt, you feel so good you don't want to stop. It's like the same reason I do keto. I've been doing keto now for a year. Me and Beau used to do it together. He had to switch over to carnivore, which is no. Everybody's body is different. My
Yeah.
body, my
Oh, look at that. Oh my God.
my body.
Hey, my muscles.
I mean, it's amazing. I got a six pack now, man. I haven't had a six pack since I was like
Awesome.
17,
Awesome.
18 years
I
old.
hope we can motivate a lot of our audiences. And again, the key thing is to really take care of your body, your mind, your physical, everything that we, do. And during COVID, that's what we are going through. Some people are going spiral down, but a lot of the winners are spiraling up, and they
Yeah,
are doing better take care of their body. We don't have to be in the traffic jams like we used to for
man,
2 hours going to office and back. I mean, it has given so much time with the family, with the things that we want to do, take care of our body and mind. Yeah,
that's right. We're all given the same amount of time. We're all given,
sure.
we've all been given this downtime. It's just you have the cup half full or half empty. Half full is the people that are going to get after it and do something with this time. The half empty is the people who are saying boo hoo hoo and concentrate on that. And I'm not saying there's people in much worse off positions than we are, but my business suffered too. I had to switch gears real fast and
Yeah,
change everything in my businesses.
yeah,
And I was panicking, but at the same time, I knew I could get through it. Been through bad stuff before, and we're
yeah.
thriving. Our businesses haven't been busier. So
Love it. Love it. Love it. We would love, our, follow, our people in the chat. I'm looking for some questions. If you would, hi there, John B. Buchanan. Mario is the man. Personally working with him over 15 years. That's awesome.
known John
Awesome.
for a long time. What's up, John?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, David. We just kind of chatting. Anybody who's there, John B, there we go. And, I think the key thing is let's share with us, how it has transformed your life. As you said, you heard Tony Robbins, and how did that? What age was? I mean, how many years back?
Yeah.
And
I'm 38 now. I was about 17, 18 when I had heard that, maybe 19.
mhm.
When I got in my bio it says I dropped out of high school. I actually got
Yeah.
kicked out of high school 3 times. So I got kicked out of one high school, went to a continuation school, got kicked out of that high school, went to another high school, got kicked
You
out of
were
that.
trouble, man. Were you trouble? You were chasing some.
So I had the entrepreneurial mind. I
Yeah,
just didn't know how to direct that energy properly,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so with the teachers and the adults who respected me and were nice to me, I was very nice and respectful to them. To the ones who were not, I just couldn't take it, and I
Mm.
couldn't keep my mouth shut, and my mouth got me in trouble a lot. And so that's where it happened. And so my dad said, "Hey man, you're going to go to military school. You're going to work. Which one do you want to do?" And I said, "Hey, you've raised me working. My whole family is a bunch of workhorses. They're all in construction." So
Yeah.
I said, "Let's work." So at 14, I started working full time, and that's kind of, and I took on a lot of stress and started building businesses when I was young. So I officially started my business at 21, but I started my real business at about 17 years old is when I really
Wow.
started. So it was part of why I had panic attacks and all these sort of things. I didn't know what to do with all this stress. Nobody had ever taught me. And in the back of my mind, I felt like a failure because I didn't have a high school diploma. So I went and got my
Mm.
GED. I passed in the 98th percentile. So I scored actually really big, and that gave me a big boost of motivation. I didn't realize that I could score so well on my GED. And so, I did that and went through. And then again, I found Tony Robbins, and it just it started all making sense to me that
That's
people
awesome.
we're given these bad things in our lives to make ourselves improve, right? And so you can either give in or you can rise up. And I decided I was going to rise up, and I just slowly started just doing little things every day. And it's kind of like, I know you guys have things that you do every day,
Yeah.
and you do every morning, every night, and it's these little routines, these little habits. And I forget about the habits I have. We don't think about it because we just do them.
They do it. Yeah,
But
exactly. They become part of you.
they
They routine.
become
I
part of
mean,
it.
yeah,
100%. I was just thinking about it this morning. I took my cold shower. I've been doing cold showers nonstop. I It's got to be at least 3 to 4 years. I don't even know because I didn't exactly mark the point that I started, but it was like
mm-hmm.
2016, 2017 is when I started. But you get, and I've had many days
They're
where I didn't have to
amazing.
cold
Yeah.
shower. But I go, am I going to break this streak? Come on now, right? So it's kind of like when you get so into something, it's hard to stop. And that's the beautiful thing about habits, is that there's good ones and there's bad ones.
You're so right, Mario. Can I say something? It's very trivial, though. I mean, we brush our teeth in the morning and we
Yeah,
should brush after eating and all. At nighttime, many times, I say, oh, I don't know if I need to brush my teeth
yeah,
at nighttime.
yeah,
But, I am on a streak now, right? And I don't want to break that streak. I
yeah,
said, you know what? Why do I break this one time? And I feel better by just spending that couple of minutes, brushing before bed. I remember my wife always did it, and I would just go to the bed, and I said, Vinod, come on, do it. I mean, so you just, try to get into a habit, and that's what gets you better. You feel good about it. I mean, that's
sure.
what it is. When you are, relying on yourself and your self control, and you are not, trying to take the shortcut, I guess is the thing, right? So
Yeah,
that's so important.
yeah.
Bo, please, I know Bo and Mario have been together for, how many years, Bo?
I don't know. I met him through our buddy Eric Lawson,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
then Mario and I had so much in common as far as like I got onto this whole personal development thing, and then Mario and I would just we had a lot in common with like personal development, real estate, and everything. And then
Yeah.
so I've known you now, I think 4 years, five.
For
Probably
five.
5 years, I
Five.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, time just flies. But I think people are on the same wavelength. At the end of the day, kind of going back to like habits, I have a lot of, I have a couple bad habits, but I have mostly good habits.
Yeah.
But what I'm finding is too in business, like you have to build habits around the money making activities to make a
Yeah.
lot of money, right? Like that's where I was lacking. So now I'm building habits around prospecting for, people that want to borrow money or whatever your business is. And that's, I think, the key to getting to that next success level is to build habits, money making habits that make you money.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I think going back to everything as we've talked over the last couple months is that, coming out of COVID and so forth, I've gained more traction in my business than ever. And so it's pretty interesting. I have a lot of things going on right now that I didn't prior to COVID. Um, and I happen, and a lot of this comes to like networking, like how we network. We have a lot of people that we know. And now I have a partner that we're developing some software for in the lending business, which is going to be really unique, and it's going to connect people together. So I'm really positive, and it's just like meeting people, and I love Mario's spirit, and he's always positive. He's always trying to improve, and I think all of us, including yourself, Vinny, it's that ongoing, right, like be better.
Yep.
And obviously business sometimes is not the best to deal with, and being able to kind of push that away, like I had a I had a tree fall on a house of mine in Indiana, crushed the roof. Luckily nobody was hurt, but that's something I can't control, right?
No,
Like,
you
it
can.
was it was a storm.
Hmm.
um and instead of really worrying about things, as you start doing more and more deals, you just realize shit is going to happen. You
Totally.
have to deal with it,
Totally.
and then learn from, if there's something to be learned out of that, what happens. But
Surely, and you couldn't do anything about it. I mean, so right. I mean, Bo, the sooner we realize, hey, this was something not because of my, fault or this and that, nature, right? The tree fell. I don't know if it was loose at the roots or not, or close or whatever, but it happened. All right. Hey, what's the next step? How to get out of that situation? I'm sure it's going to cost some money. Maybe even the insurance might step in, all that stuff, right? So we need to just act as the CEO, like you said, think about it. Okay, what's the next? How can I remedy and move to the next thing? You're right. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Mario, share with us, man. I mean, you said, I mean, you do. And, I know I've seen your work, and I mean, what quality work. I mean, in our Black Hawk home, contractors came, you came, and they've done so wonderful renovations, and, the kitchens and everything, and all of this, really impressed. So tell us more about the real estate industry. What can you share with our audiences as you look into, let's see, what are some things in due diligence you look for in the single family or multifamily? And then maybe how can you help us think through what are the major cost things, right?
Yeah.
Some mistakes that we might make,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
that we can avoid with your knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody makes mistakes. I still make mistakes to this day. The goal is
Mhm.
to make less mistakes and not repeat mistakes you've made in the past.
Yeah.
But so some of the things that I've done in the past is that were mistakes. Is I bought property on the MLS and bought it, for the multiple listing services, and it looks like a good deal,
Mhm.
and it's just in my mind, if there's a bunch of other eyes on it, it's not going to be a good deal anymore because there's just too much competition.
Mhm.
And nowadays, I know a lot of people want to be a real estate investor, and so I have competition with all of those people as well. And so maybe they're not even going to take it all the way to the finish line, but they'll put a bid in on it, and they're going to push that price up. And so for me, I don't look at the MLS at all. I get text messages and emails every single day, every day. The day doesn't go by that I don't get a text message or an email with a deal. So it's really easy to get, I have all these deals floating around, hundreds and hundreds of deals a week that I look at. And so you have to know how to filter through these things. So the MLS ones, I say, thank you, not interested. If you find something off market, I'd be happy to take a look at it. All right, boom. That's my first, it's like my funnel. It's like my first filter of the funnel. Get rid of that. So the next thing is somebody tells me there's an off-market deal. Researching it, that puppy shows up on any other form of listing, on a Zillow, on Redfin, something that's not technically on the MLS, but still a secondary. Again, I'm not interested in it. typically. I'll look at it real fast. And if I know that area and I know the price and it seems way undervalued, then I'll look into it. If it seems right around, like average market value, next one. So then that's the way that I filter things. Some of the best resources I have for finding deals are networking. It's it's how me and Beau met, and how I met you, Vinney, was
Yeah.
networking events, right?
Sure.
How many awesome people have we met during networking events? People have become business partners. The three of us have become business partners. We've done deals together,
Yep.
still do deals together.
Mm-hmm.
So, networking events are really great. And I guess to go back for the people that are saying, how do I get started and all that? Because there's a lot of that. I hear a lot of that is just do something, get started somewhere. Don't worry about what you're going to get started doing. Google real estate investing, look it up on Facebook, like your guys' group, look up real estate investing, just join groups and start reading and listening. And it's kind of, if you want to learn a new language, you just have to surround yourself with it. Immersion, it's like Tony Robbins teaches. You want to learn. The best way to learn is just to dive right in and immerse yourself. I can tell you for sure, the way that I improved my mentality was, I'll go back to the Tony Robbins stuff and all that. I had Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar CDs in my car, and that's all I listened to every single day. I don't care if I listen to that CD 500 times.
Yeah.
It's just that repetition, because we also have times in our lives that we have repetition of negativity, and we have to undo all that stuff, right? So the same thing goes with real estate investing. Listen to repetition. There's so many podcasts out there. You don't have to pay for it. It's free education, right? Just listen to podcasts. You were talking about, being on your elliptical. That's no extra time right there. That's net time. So use your net time and do you're running, you're gardening, you're in the, I listen to motivational stuff when I'm in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm constantly like listening to stuff, podcasts all day long, and you let that stuff get in, and you're learning without even realizing you're learning. You may be half awake listening to something, but your subconscious mind is listening. And so that's the advice that I have, is for anybody who just wants to do it, just get into it. And there's so many resources out there. Start surrounding yourself with it, and start surrounding yourself in that industry, and start networking. And that's how you're going to find the deals. That's how you're going to run across the deal, and or become a partner in a deal. Like, you raise capital for your syndications. I mean, you have, how many partners have you had that have come in, and maybe they start not being a real estate investor, and they go, wow, I like this paycheck I'm getting every quarter. This is nice. I like this. I like how much money I'm saving on my taxes on this K1 that Vinney gives me. And maybe I'll be a real estate investor. I tell my daughter, so she's 14 years old now, and you met Isabella. We came to your house, and we spent a lot of time with you. And I tell her, you don't have to love real estate to invest in real estate. I happen to love it, but for me, it's a little different because I grew up around it. It reminds me of like my grandparents, being with them and working with them, because I've worked with them since I was a young age. So to me, it's nostalgic, being around real estate, being around construction. But for her, it's, she doesn't really care for it.
Yeah.
But what's really nice is to get a paycheck every single month without really doing much. And sometimes not doing anything. Depends on the month. That's passive income, right? Some months you're doing a little bit more, like Beau said. You had a tree fall on the place. There's sometimes I can go a year and I realize, oh my God, I haven't heard much from those tenants. Like, what's going on over there? But that paycheck keeps on coming. And it's an easy thing for me to say, but it's a totally different thing to actually feel it. And when you get a paycheck in the mail for not doing anything, that's amazing. Passive income is just amazing.
Totally. No, can't agree more. I mean, that's where we are all, hopefully we are trying to do. We are retired now. I'm retired, but I love, what we are doing. But passive incomes, streams of income is so important for millennials, for anybody in the 30s, 40s, 50s, because, the government is not going to, the Medi-Cal and other, and Medicare, and also Social Security, it's not going to really give us the kind of lifestyle we want to really retire on and what we want to do with. So thank you. Yeah, no, that's so true. Let's dig into some more. Beau, what do you think? What other avenues you can think we
Oh,
take
yeah.
Mario into.
I was just getting excited thinking about passive income. That
Yeah.
always gets me because I think really like if you talk to most people out there, the average American, right? The American dream is in kind of like the average Joe type person, right? Is to wake up and like go to their mailbox and pull out their property management statement. In the old days, now we get it emailed in and they electronically transfer your money. But seeing that statement in the mail or
Yeah.
the email that comes
Mhm.
by with your assets on it, with your monthly rental income,
Yep.
it's just such a blessing. Like and I know all the hard work because it takes time to build and build and build and build and build. Most people aren't just going to go overnight and get $20,000 a month in passive cash flow. It takes time to build it, right? But the power of what we do, and especially what you do, Vinny, and the syndication and what you teach is that you can amplify your results so much faster where actually you know some of your students have gone out from maybe doing some single family homes to getting their first 30 or 40 or 100 unit building.
Yeah.
And I think that's like amazing. Now me on the loan side, seeing and helping people facilitate them buying these multifamily properties, I do enjoy that. And I think that collectively, over the next couple of years, Mario's 38, I'm 42. We're at the age we're at right now is really kind of the defining moment in our life for you know, the next 10 years of our lives are critical to get to that financial, like, as my friend Daniel Clayman says, the FU wall, where you got money coming in, you have everything covered and you don't care about anything, right? Because ideally, like you, Vinny, you could shut down everything. You could go sit on an island if you wanted to, right? So our goals, Mario and myself being in our age group, is that we're seasoned real estate people, and now we have to really over the next hopefully the next 5 years, but let's say 10 years, is just to kind of like fine tune our process, learn from you, pick up a few nice multifamily properties, and really then Mario and I always talk about the flip flop lifestyle where we just have our laptops. We're in San Diego,
That's
at the
right.
coffee shop, sending a few emails, and then that's our vision. And I think that's why Mario and I really connected, is that we have the same vision for our lives. And sometimes I do get frustrated because it feels like it takes longer and longer and longer. And I look at other people and go, it seems easy for them, but I think everybody struggles. What do you think,
Oh,
Mario?
totally.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like it's like look at somebody's Facebook. Their life looks so perfect and so
Mhm.
rosy, right? People take pictures of their kids smiling. 3 seconds after that kid's smiling, they throw a fit and they throw something at the camera. So let's not all forget that all that Facebook lifestyle and stuff like that, we see like 0.01% of that person's life. The rest
Mhm.
of it we don't see. And so the and the struggles, dude, that the struggles is what makes everything so much better,
Yeah.
because it's the contrast in our lives, right? If we didn't have a struggle, then when we finally get awarded with something, we appreciate it. It's kind of like the people who win lottery. Look at the people who win lottery. They're still depressed. They still have their problems that they already had. All it did is amplify all those problems. They don't appreciate that money. Whereas people who work really hard for their money, they learn to appreciate it, and they're a lot different. You look at like an old timer, for instance, who has a lot of money. Where I grew up, we have a lot of old Italians, a lot of old Portuguese, a lot of old
Mhm.
Greeks that got one house, then got another house, and got another house. They had a normal 9 to 5. And I still know there's still old men in my neighborhood that own like 30, 40 houses. You'd never know it. They drive an old beat up pickup truck and they're quiet about it, but they have that passive income coming in because they appreciate that money. They worked really, really hard for that money, and they're not just going to go splurge. And they don't need to do that for their happiness. But so yeah, on that point, I, whenever I have to work hard, for what what I'll call, excuse my language, but the bitch side of me, we all have that part, what that wants to cry,
Uh-huh.
wants to give in and say, why do I have to work so hard? The other side of me stops and says, hey, you're going to appreciate it when after you're done working. It's like working out. It's never 100% fun when you're working out, but as soon as you're done, you feel so darn accomplished. And
So true.
it's just like something else that you can do. I'm going to go back to my cold showers. That's why I do them. They're so easy to do. 3 minutes in a cold shower. It sounds horrible. It is kind of horrible. You get used to it after a while. But when you turn that shower off, you feel accomplished, and you just did a bunch of just wonderful things for your body. You increase your testosterone levels. You decrease your cortisol levels. You strengthen your immune system. All these things that it does for you. So
Oh,
yeah,
you're so right, Mario. I mean, it's conditioning our, just like I was saying, body and mind and everything. I think people who progress in life are the ones who write down their goals with deadlines. And a lot of us are dreamers. I'm a dreamer, but those dreamers accomplish very little, I find, unless they really hunker down and say, out of all these dreams, what are my two, three dreams that I can achieve in the next 5 years? Put it down, and then of course the game plan. There's nothing comes easy. Nothing comes easy, but we need to really go through the step process. What it will take, what teams we need to put together, what actions, and what other softwares or education or whatever we need to accomplish that. Because if we are not moving in that direction, when the plane takes off from New York to come to LA, the plane has to keep on moving in the direction of the LA. Otherwise, it'll never arrive there, right? So we do have planes never go straight. Actually, I was reading up on that. It goes sideways and it goes come back again into that alignment and everything towards the goal. So that's what it's all about. Let's just talk about okay, a lot of people desire success, but why not too many people achieve it?
exactly what you just talked about. It's hard, and it's difficult, and we go to sleep one person and we wake up another, and we have to remember that we're never the same person when we wake up in the morning. When we wake up in the morning, we want to hit the snooze. We wake up in the morning, we don't want to do all those things we were just motivated to do right before we went to bed. I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to go to the gym and all this. Your alarm goes off. And you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do any of that stuff. So we have to know that ahead of time, that we're not that person in the morning. And so that's where habits come in. Because if you just say, okay, so this is my routine, and it may work for some people, may not work for others. My habit around getting up in the morning, I struggle with it big time for years. I would hit snooze. I mean, I'm like the world record holder for snooze. I swear to God, I've done it for 2 to 3 hours at a time. Like no kidding. But guess what? I haven't hit snooze on my alarm clock in about 7 years. About 7 years since I
There
hit.
you go. Yeah.
And because I set that goal and I started doing it, and one day turned into 2 days, turned into 3 days. So what I did was I put my alarm on the other side of the bedroom. So I had to get out of bed. I have it next to my nightstand. It's too easy, right? It's that weak side of me. I'm half awake. I just hit the snooze and go back to bed. All right, and it's still to this day I go, oh man, I just having a great dream. These blankets are so warm and all that. But once your feet hit the ground and you get up and grab that phone, it's like the very first step. You don't have to go the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And once you take the first step, then you can have a second step lined up. So what's my second step? Okay, get up and take a few deep breaths. All right, and once I do that, I'm like, man, I'm awake now. All right. So what's my third step? Grab my coffee, grab my water, grab my vitamins. What's my fourth step? Grab my journal, write a few things down. If I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to write things down, then I at least go through 3 things that I'm grateful for. So gratitude, I practice it all the time. So go through that, look at the stuff that I'm grateful for. And so knowing that we have these weak parts of our mind is beneficial. You have to know all these weaknesses. And then you set things in place to kind of trick yourself in very many ways. And once you take that first step and that second step, so as far as success goes, you have to be ready that you're going to give in to not working hard. And so like what we do with each other, we motivate each other, right? We're in multiple text groups with each other.
Yeah.
And I have that with a number of people. We help motivate each other. So when I'm feeling motivated, maybe you're not feeling motivated, but talking to me, I'm going to motivate you, and vice versa. I'm not feeling motivated, but you're pretty darn motivated right now. So I'm going to feed off of that.
I
So
love that.
surrounding yourself with that.
So true. So very true.
Changing your environment, like I said,
Hmm.
for somebody who's, if you're a teenager and you say, I don't know anybody that has any money. I didn't either. I didn't know anybody that had any money. So what do you do at that point? You can either drive out to somewhere, take the bus out to somewhere where people that have money congregate, and or start grabbing podcasts. You could be sitting in the middle of the desert listening to a podcast of somebody that's talking about a tropical beach, and you'll be there, and you're starting to visualize that. You're planting those seeds in your brain. Every plant starts as a little tiny seed. I'm a what one of my hobbies is I'm actually a gardener. So I have a big vegetable garden, and I
Hmm.
like my plants. I got 6 foot plants right now, tomato plants that are as big as me, but they started just a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, as a little tiny sprout that big.
Mm.
And you got to plant those seeds. It's really beneficial. Like Beau was saying, we see other people's success, and it looks so easy because we see a little bit of their life, but we
Yeah.
don't see everything else. We don't see those people who are super successful who still get up every morning early. They go to bed early, and or if they don't get enough sleep, so be it. They don't get enough sleep because they have obligations. They have things to do,
Yeah.
and we don't see those parts of their lives. We don't see, when they're sick, they still drag themselves out of bed and do something, some small move towards their goal. And that's what makes us successful people, is just having a little less excuses, having more reasons to be motivated,
Hmm.
and knowing these faults that we have in our own brain, and setting yourself up to it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Mm.
Drew Barrymore has a head injury, and every day he has to remarry his wife. She doesn't know who
Oh,
he is. She doesn't know who he is. She wakes up, she's like, "Who's this stranger sleeping next to me?" So he
wow.
pops in this video, and it's a video of their whole life together, and it reminds her, or it shows her, and they start their life over every single day. Well, guess
Wow.
what? We got to do the same thing, because we forget things too, and we wake up a different person. So that's why we have to have those things in the morning. That's why journaling is good.
Hmm.
Or just saying it in your brain, or whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do. But those habits, it's why it's having those consistent habits is really, really beneficial. And I would say
Yeah.
I'd
So
be a very depressed person if I didn't have good habits. I can say that for sure. If I was still here anymore
So
at that
so
rate.
so Elma asked the question, how do you get started when you don't know what to do, something to that extent. And so I think you're a real estate agent, I believe. Let's you get to get started. It comes to be like just what Mario was saying. It's habits, right? So the first thing you should do is start searching through the MLS. Start getting a feel of what deals are trading for in your
mhm.
market. Start. You're probably not going to go out and buy a 200 unit apartment building your first time unless you have a shitload of money and you invest in a syndication as a limited partner. You're going to probably start out small if you have very little bit of means, and you have to use this to find you have to find the deals and things. But I think what you need to do is set a goal. Okay, first of all, do you want to flip a property? Do you want to burr a property? You want a long-term rental? But you got to start with something. And I think, to get your real estate footwork down, you got to start with a small property and put that under your belt. Buying it, fixing it, refinancing it, putting a tenant in, keeping it long term. Personally, I think wealth is created by owning real estate in a long term. You can create a tremendous amount of wealth. But I also agree with Vinny's philosophy in emerging markets. Certain times during certain cycles, there's growth areas, and you can maximize and supercharge your return. So you need a little bit of emerging markets, cash in those markets. But I believe you also need to have your base covered. You need your core base of cash flow coming in every month. Especially like me, I've been commissioned my whole life, commission only. I've had ups and downs, and I can tell you it's not the best way to live. Okay, like, oh great, I just closed a $15,000 commission, right? That's exciting. I'm going to go have sushi and spend 150 bucks. But I had to change my mindset and say, okay, every property I buy and I reposition and becomes a rental, I can wake up every month and pretty much get a passive income check. So that's the mindset you need, and start analyzing deals case by case. If I bought it for X and I rehabbed it and I refinanced it, what's that all going to look like, at the end? What's going to be put in my pocket? Does it make sense? Is it cash flowing? Is it, you could start with a simple 1% rule. I'm buying it for $100,000. It pays me $1,000 a month. That's a decent rule to start on the West Coast. Now, if you're buying in the Midwest, we have different rules and things, but you got to start small and then take baby steps every day. You take baby steps, and that's how I think you have to progress.
So true, so true. Both of you are right on the target. I know a lot of us, who are watching us or will be watching us later on, a lot of us probably know these things. To be truthful, that's what I find. We know we should be doing these things, but then we find life comes on the way, in the way to really distract us, and all the different ups and downs, that we go through with our family or life, and as a job, and now with COVID and all that kind of stuff, right? But getting focused is so important. Getting focused and then making a difference each and every day. I always say we should be moving towards our goal incrementally. And if we are not, then find out why not,
Mhm.
and find out the reason behind it. Is it the company we are keeping? Is it what I'm feeding my mind? Is it where I need to involve some coach or mentor or somebody or a friend who can really take me out of it, right? And Mario, you said about podcasts. Amazing, amazing. My best friends are podcasts, YouTube, by the way, YouTube, and Google. And Google. I love YouTube because I'm more like a watcher. I can listen and watch at the same time. I mean, you can YouTube any subject, any kind of wording. I'm depressed. I want to get out of it, or I want to start this business. You would not believe how many people have put great contents, and it's all free, totally free for us. And
Yeah.
I do that all the time, and I look forward to when I put my projection TV upstairs with the elliptical. If I don't have a call or meeting or like that, but I'm doing elliptical, I go on YouTube and I just put in, I want to see some clip of, how to stay motivated, or, what's some new thoughts and all kind of stuff, right? So,
Right.
no, I just want to say, we come out to you live every Friday, 9:30, guys, from San Francisco and Las Vegas area, together, Vinny and Beau show. Please text us if you can. I think I just gave those text numbers right there for the syndication, or asking about senior living or multifamily investing, which I've been doing. Vinny Chopra, you could do texting to my phone number. And then for loans, Beau is the specialist, and he's been so busy, going on here, which is very, very exciting. And he's able to share with my students so many great avenues, how to get hard loans, how to get other kind of loans, all kinds of. So he's very creative person. So we bring this show live to you every Friday. Please subscribe to us and put notification and all that. And we try to bring some great guests like Mario Mazzamuto. We want to thank you, Mario, for coming in and gracing us today. I know next week we'll have a new guest. Actually, we are trying to bring one guest, right, Beau? You want to tell a little bit about our guest next week?
Sure. So I'm always researching and everything, and I'm always looking. And we have a company. They have a software, and you can pull stats on any. Like, you can go in and put multifamily property in Alabama with loans on it 2 million or greater, or 50 units and above, and you could see when their loan is maturing. You could see if they're a possible candidate to sell the property, and
Hmm.
the system allows you to just go in and get their phone number and their email, so you can just message these people directly. So I'm using it on the lending side, and I have to say I'm really excited to I'm hiring another. So I've had Aiden for a while part time, but
Yes.
I'm hiring another virtual assistant full time, 40 hours a
Oh,
week, and
I love it.
I took this guy's course, and he's a young kid, but he's really smart, and he just like he teaches you how to like build a program. So this VA knows exactly what to do. So I have my associate Bill helping me create. So I'm using Asana. She can go in, or he, not sure if it's a he or she that I'm going to be hiring, but
Mhm.
for $500 US, you get a full-time employee or independent contractor because they're
For
right,
the whole year? Oh, no, for the whole month.
What?
right, five $500, right? And
That's
so
awesome.
like now, when I really look at all the things I've done incorrectly, is that one is I've never saved my money. Wasn't a good saver. Luckily, I bought some real estate, which was two is that I've never created systems, right? And if you want to be successful, no matter what, you could be. I'll always be a one-man show if I don't build systems. So think about this. I'm going to pay this person $500 a month to find me prospects that could pay me 10, 15, $50,000,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
Like, if I close your 15 or $14 million loan, Vinny, right? I make big checks from those,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Yep.
this is what I'm most passionate about going forward, because this is what I wasn't doing in the past.
Yeah.
And like when I look at my successful friends, they have systems, right? You
Yeah.
like Vinny, you have systems. You have your head of accounting. You have your this. You have John. Okay, you have John, right? You're head of the academy, and you have to build these systems. And it can
Sure.
be as simple as getting one part-time assistant to
Yeah.
start, right? Because you can outsource, leverage, and that's what I'm most excited about. To end this, Mario, what are you most excited about?
What am I most excited about? I'm most excited about the weather that we got right now, and actually, all these regulations slowly loosening up and be able to get
Yes.
outside and live a halfway normal life, what we consider normal. Yeah, definitely excited about that, and yeah, I'm excited for both systems, man. That's awesome. Systems are
Yeah,
great.
fabulous, fabulous.
Yeah,
And Mario, how can people reach you, bud? We want to also,
yeah,
you are very well known in the Bay Area. How can people reach you for
yeah.
your services?
Just Google me, Mario Mazzamuto, Mazzzamuto. Just Google me, and you can find me on Facebook, on Instagram. You can find my websites. I have all my information out there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, I'm really, really thankful, to you and Bo, because I got to meet both of you, and it's been such a great friendship, and we're gonna be, doing so many things together and everything. I want to thank you for coming on the show, and let's have a great next week, guys. Please go ahead and chime in at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is 12:30. Oh no, 9:30, sorry, Pacific, and then 12:30 on the East Coast. And thank you, Bo. Thank you, buddy. Any last thoughts?
No, I just John, you got to cut out the intro too. You
Oh,
put
I will do that. I think.
because
Oh, John is back. Thank you, John, buddy. You are the best. I
you
know.
bring
I'm
us
so
down.
proud to have. And hey, yeah, things are going really amazing in our companies. We have opened 3 new companies, and we are going bonkers. I mean, all in this new directions we are going into, which is fabulous and very exciting. So thank you so much, everybody, joining us. We'll see you next Friday at 9:30. See you then.